Archon, so just we have a frog. Okay.
Oh, this card.
Honestly, I have mixed feelings.
Psychic frog.
I have mixed feelings on this card. It
Tell us your thoughts then. Boom. Okay, welcome everybody to the Enter the Battlefield Legacy of the North Swiss 3K tournament. My name is Will.
My name is David.
And we are excited to bring you our tournament that we have today. It's a long day ahead of us, isn't it?
7 rounds, 70 people, Legacy of the North, of course, all that jazz.
We're excited.
We're excited, yeah. I mean, again.
Do you have music there for us, Steve, in there? Is that music, Steve? Thanks, brother. Yeah, so
awesome.
we are about to start. Pardon us, we don't have someone behind the scenes, so it's David and I working the system here to the best of our ability. So there will be hiccups, there will be mess ups, and then we'll get into it as well. Okay.
But again, we're here for a good time. Again, 7 rounds, 70 people. I mean, 7s across the board. I'm excited. I mean, it's the best format. Come on, we already know that already, right? So we have pretty. I don't want to say classic matchup, but definitely going to be a matchup we're going to be seeing a lot of, especially leading into Eternal Weekend, right? And again, we also have on the right, when we get to that point, we do have some travelers. We have some people from North Bay, have some people from Buffalo, right?
Yes, Rochester, right?
Rochester, yes, exactly.
So we have a lot of players from different areas, and we're really excited for it. We'll get it right into it, everybody.
Let's just jump in.
Yeah, so we have Ethan on our Scaminator deck. I'd say probably one of the most prevalent decks we see in the format, right? We know, and we're thankful for the banning of Grief, but we understand, honestly, this deck really didn't change too much. It just got rid of Grief.
Honestly, yeah, Grief, I mean, good Grief, but in the end, it didn't really do a whole lot. It slowed it down maybe a turn instead of being able to just like reanimate Grief. But when it comes down to it now, it's basically a blue-black, I don't want to say tempo because it definitely has that feel. But now it's becoming just a turn one and turn 2 reanimate kind of style deck with Frog. And I'm not sure if there are Bowmasters in this main deck. There are not.
Yeah, no Bowmasters.
Right? But again, Metamorphosis Fanatic, great card, great addition to this particular deck. Basically, it's a free animate dead on a stick that gives the creature lifelink when it comes into play as well too. So we're off to a good start here. I think I'm not sure who was on the play. I think it was Mystic Forge, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe it was our Mystic Forge deck here too. So.
Which this is a spicy deck too. I mean, we got 4 Karns, 4 Glaring Fresh Rakers, 4 Kozilek's Command.
This card's wild.
It is wild, honestly. Being able to like just exile graveyards, exile a Merit Lodge that's in play. It's pretty bonkers card and deck we got going on here.
And speaking of it, we have 2 of them in hand. We have a Thoughtseize coming up from Ethan here, right? Going to be able to show the goods here.
What do we got there? A city, one ring. Are those Kozilek?
Yeah, 2 Kozilek's Command, and it looks like an Ancient Tomb as well. So lots of mana available. I presume he's probably going to take the ring here. It seems like the best option, right?
I would think so, especially because you got 2. Yeah, honestly, that's probably your best bet, unless he's really scared of the graveyard shenanigans, which I don't think so. But so far, so good. We're off to a good start.
Does he draw another one for fun?
Let's see. Thoughtseize Bug? Nope, we're clear there.
Vexing Bauble?
Oh, it was. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, he knows he's playing against a Force of Will deck, so that might be something to get into play early.
Force of Will, Dazes.
We have an Entomb. Okay. Now, what would you go for in this case? Would it be an Archon or a Traxa?
I feel like I want to say an Archon, but honestly, I don't play this deck. I play a great deck called Goblins, which loses to everything. An Atraxa, I guess it makes sense. Want to refill the hand to the best of the ability, right, and kind of bury McCready under a lot of cards here. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong here, McCready?
Yeah, I would say McCready. Yes, I would say McCready.
We'll call him Mystic Forge for right now, and then we'll go from
Mystic
there.
Forge McCready. There we go. I like it. So that wasn't a Traxxer for the Entomb, which is very fair because, again, you're not in the blind, but you want to also just refill your hand. There's not really a purpose to get rid of the creatures in play with Archon, so just... we have a Frog. Okay.
Oh, this card.
Honestly, I have mixed feelings.
Psychic Frog.
I have mixed feelings on this card.
Tell us your thoughts then, David, about this card.
So I didn't play of the time with Dreadhorde Arcanist, which I know we talked about this on previous streams, is basically it's a 1 red and a colorless for a 1/3 that whenever it deals damage, or whenever it attacks rather, you get to exile a card from the graveyard, your graveyard, and you get to be able to cast that spell. So, I mean... yes, it's a 2-drop in the same case as Psychic Frog, but it also doesn't have the restriction of blue and black. So I understand why it was so limited. So in Psychic Frog's case, sure, it pitches the Force of Will, and it is a draw engine. It's a pitch engine. It's a I guess a graveyard anti-hate.
Yeah.
Right? If someone's actually trying to like surgical your graveyard or Fairy Macabre your graveyard, you can actually just exile them instead of give your frog flying. So I mean, it has its pluses and minuses. I think the reason why people are so mad about it, I guess you could say, or talking about it, is because it's so popular. Everybody's playing 4 of.
Yeah.
In some respect, in the tempo decks and the reanimator decks,
even in the combo decks, right? There's Doomsday like kind of running it too.
Yes.
As along with Tamiyo's, understanding that the card is so good and you can push through if you're not able to combo out too. So we're seeing it in many aspects, right? Seems like our Mystic Forge player here just grabbing a Vexing Bauble after our Urza Saga goes away. And then probably going to be coming in. These constructs are pretty big. They're 4/4s right now. Yeah, just dump his whole hand for fun.
I mean,
that Force of Will isn't looking too pretty.
I was going to say if it's not doing anything, you know what? It's a free, and that's the beauty of this frog too. Is that hey, there's a Vexing Bauble on the opposite side of the board, even your side of the board. You want to keep it in play. You just pitch these dead Force of Wills, these dead cards you can't really cast to the frog, make it bigger, and the counters don't go anywhere. They're permanent counters on this frog, right?
It's not, not just for the turn.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, right. So
frog, we've seen because of the prevalence of frog in decks, right? We're seeing, you can't really play lightning bolts, all these things. You need to have the true spot removal for them, right?
Yes.
It's changed a lot of what's being played as well. Being able to be pitch cast, to Force of Will is another huge benefit to Frog. Now, I don't know about the rumors of talking about is another piece going to see a ban. I'm not going to be that person because I don't know. All I know is Modern's in a weird place right now.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, just to go back a sec. Well, what was I going to say? Oh, you know what? I already thought.
That's okay.
I will find it. Oh, people are actually calling when you have Frog in play, and you actually like going back to the damage base removal and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a card called I think it's Mind Wrench or Wrench Mind. I can't remember what it's called now. I'm losing my. I think it's Wrench Mind. Yeah, Wrench Mind. Basically, if you try to bolt a frog, you're giving your opponent the option to discard 2 cards, similar to Wrench Mind. But again, future frogs, if they're in play and you still have a lightning bolt, you can always bolt that thing pretty early if their hand is pretty empty. Yeah. So bolt has this push and pull kind of aspect with this frog situation. Mm-hmm. But in short, damage based removal with frog in the format right now doesn't actually do anything. It's just a dead card essentially, right? So
yeah, and we're seeing here, right, talking about discarding that Force Will, discarding 3 cards here. It looks like Force Will Troll and our new kind of piece from one of our newer sets. This card is actually kind of nuts, I have to say. Metamorphosis Fanatic. This reanimate spell. This one's playing it looks like Ethan's playing a 3 of in his deck. Exiling cards and then going to be able to give his Psychic Frog flying buff. Kozilek's command saying goodbye.
Yeah, eating some of the cards there. I think it so.
Is that a reanimate?
In this case, that is a Thought Seize. It looks like. I think it's one of the.
But a troll just came back.
Oh wait,
I think it is a reanimate.
Oh, does reanimate get? Oh, did they have a printing for reanimate too from the OTJ set?
Well, let's be honest here. There's a million printings of different cards.
I know.
This could be a. What's it called? Secret Lair My Little Pony edition.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think in this case,
what set is this?
This is the OTJ, the Elders of Thunder Junction Prosperity set. I think it's called.
I've never seen this in my life.
Yeah, there's some kind of like showcase borderless stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Again, as you said, too many printings.
Yeah.
Too many printings. The same card.
Vexing Bauble coming in. These constructs are massive.
Just checking. Are those 2 Vexing Baubles and then 2 keys underneath each bauble?
I want to say
is that what I'm going for there?
Those contracts were 6/6s. He's going to go to 1.
Yeah, this
right?
is
it?
Yeah, we're going to see a top deck here.
Presume his life says 1 here. And he's dead.
Yep, we're good.
Ethan, another one bites the dust.
Yeah, that's it. Scaminator has to hit the bullet sometimes,
Yeah, well played by our Mystic Forge player here, getting it done. Oh, I almost gave him the wrong one. How do I do this?
There we go. We did it.
I'm a professional.
We did it.
No, I'm not.
We're trying. Corno 4. Yes. We have again completely mixed. We have again, like I said, North Bay. We have some Buffalo. We have Rochester in this case. I think there was some other. I heard someone else was here as well too, but I can't remember who it was. There was some from a different area. But nonetheless, I mean, yeah, this is we're hosting everybody essentially. Whoever wants to come play Legacy, they're here. Yep. So
Dominic Harvey's here as well.
Dom Harvey. Yeah, we are missing a local fan favorite, Boston Chapman. He is not here because he's at the Calgary RC.
Yeah, someone actually in chat was asking about the RC if this was the stream for it. This is not. We're actually bigger than that tournament here. I'm kidding.
Let's go Legacy.
No. Make sure we support all the regional qualifiers and everything that's happening everywhere, right? For those who are trying out, especially Boston, right? Did manage to get to the last kind of Pro Tour piece.
Yeah,
I think constructed, with some of the best players. It's a tough field, I could only imagine. And so looking at the sideboards here for both of our players as they're getting ready, we don't have the system set up yet for looking at sideboards. Maybe I do. Honestly, I don't know. If I push a lot of buttons, maybe something will happen. If I do deck thing, does this work?
Have to see here.
If I do this.
Here we go.
Let's see. Let's try this. What does this do?
Try a different window there, maybe.
Maybe I delete this. Maybe the whole computer's going to blow up.
Really hope not. Here we go.
Delete.
Let's try it.
I'm so scared.
We're still here. We're still here.
Okay, so let's do screen capture, right? Add source. New.
Screen 2.
This one? This is the one.
Yep, that's the whole window.
The one.
There, yeah.
Boom. Okay, and now we're gonna edit this to make it look pretty. This is what we do, everybody, when it's no production.
This is gonna be good.
This is what we get. We get the Will Sorley and David special here. Okay, hang on. Now we gotta make it smaller. Okay.
I love it. No, this is good. We are
good. Transition.
Good. Ready?
Boom. Okay, there we go.
So this is for the blue-black side. So against this particular matchup, I think you're definitely bringing in the 2 consigned memories. You're definitely bringing the null rod in. So there's 3 there. You could bring in the force of negation for like the early wobbles or anything, or a ring or anything of that sort, possibly. Mm-hmm. Other than that, maybe another brazen borrower.
Yeah, null rod. I guess is really the biggest thing.
For sure. I'm looking at consign null rod, brazen borrower, and maybe the force of negation.
Do you think you bring in the Barrogoyf as well?
Actually, you could as an extra threat.
Take out Atraxa potentially, because that probably this other deck is going to have a lot of graveyard hate.
Yeah, exactly. So
and just having a body. Let's scroll down.
What do we got here? So we have the...
it's really just a card package almost. What is this card?
I've been seeing this card pop up a lot recently, this Argentine Masticore. I'm not sure exactly what this thing's all doing here, but...
What the heck is this?
Okay, at the your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you discard a card. When you discard a card this way, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the mana value of the discarded card. So basically, if you pitch a ring, you can blow up a 4-drop. If you pitch a Mycosynth Lattice, you can blow up a 6-drop. Again, it's another one in the main deck.
Huh.
So, I mean, okay, it's a 5/5 for 5, which can be played pretty early.
First strike protection from multicolored is pretty good, too.
So it does block the frog very efficiently, right? Because of the multicolor aspect of that. It technically could block the Atraxa, but again, it would die in this case.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, it would not. Protection, so it would not actually in that case.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sideboard part, I think you're bringing in... I mean, the Masticore doesn't seem like a card you'd bring in this particular aspect, but I could be wrong.
This is the fact where I look at Dismember and I'm like, okay, that's great, but of course he could just empty out a lot of his cards, right? And it could still survive.
Exactly. So Ethan on the play, we're having a Thoughtseize here. We have Fleshraker, a little quick there, but again, Fleshraker, I saw a ring. I think it was a Vexing Bauble there too, but I could be wrong.
Ancient Tomb and 2 Urza Sagas.
And there was a Bauble, so...
How much of this deck gets turned off by Vexing Bauble?
You're looking at mostly 8 cards. That's the standard, which is the 4 forcible 4 days, but in this case, we only have 3 days. So at that point, most likely the forcibles may have even gotten cut.
Mm-hmm.
Because your opponent had Vexing Bauble in the deck, and there's really no point of just falling into that trap of keeping forcibles in. But again, if you can get rid of the Vexing Bauble somehow, like a Brazen Borrow or something like that, and you want to be able to force stuff later on, again, they'll just play the Bauble again. So
you brought in a vacuum,
right? Okay, I could see that, because vacuuming your own cards or vacuuming just any card from their graveyard, especially like the Fleshraker is a creature, right? That vacuum has some pretty funky text on it. Essentially,
it's one of the new sets, right, that it came out with?
Yeah, Duskmourn, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's just another now Spellbomb type effect or Relic of Progenitus effect.
There's our frog. Yeah. Ribbit.
But it has the effect of 6 and tap and sacrifice the vacuum to put each creature exiled with the vacuum onto the battlefield with a flying counter on it. and they are 1/1 spirits. You can only activate it as a sorcery, but again, if you have like I don't know, a frog get exiled. If you exile your own frog, Atraxa, you can exile your own Atraxa. All these little things that slowly throughout the game, if you somehow have 6 mana, which I could see the Karnforge deck actually having more easily to get to. Yeah. But in this case, I think it's more just a 1 mana graveyard hate card within the Scaminator matchup. And it looks like there are no vacuums in the Karnforge deck. Yeah, in this case. So nonetheless, we'll see how the frog can maybe do some work here. Again,
getting in, drawing a card, the prevalence of this, and our Mystic Forge player not being able to have a blocker this early, that's going to be able to contest effectively with it.
Yep.
Oh, this Wasteland's pretty good because the Mystic Forge is going to pop. You're going to probably Wasteland this Ancient Tomb afterwards, right?
Oh, the Voidwalker came in too. Wow, we're going creature heavy.
This is, yeah. And then here we go. We're going to Wasteland that Ancient Tomb after, or do you ancient?
I think you go for the Saga actually. Because,
really?
Yeah, the tutoring of I don't know. It could be a Bauble. It could be. I'm surprised we didn't actually. Sorry, this line of play makes sense. Wastelanding after Voidwalker's in play because again now it's exiled under the Voidwalker.
Yeah,
meaning that he can play it as well too, Ethan. But yes, you do go after the Saga because you don't know what exactly he could get from that.
That's true.
Right?
It's not open deck list right now too, so he doesn't know maybe.
Again, maybe grabbing a Tormod script that he brought in, or looking for maybe another Bauble.
Yeah,
I think just having another construct being made as well too, right? Like there are the Soul Guide Lanterns and the Voltaic Keys, and there was one of Needle. So I guess actually having the Needle come into play off the Saga would be pretty brutal as well too.
Yeah, looks like our. Let us know if it's frozen because I don't see nothing, and it seems like we might have lost some of our items here. So just give us a moment, everybody. It seems like we've lost some of our pieces. We have no. It seems like we have audio, but we have no visuals right now.
We're checking a few settings here. Give us a hot minute. May have to
restart some pieces. We're back.
We are back.
Okay, we have no idea what happened, but there's a grid monolith that it looks like, and everything's wrong here as well again. Give us a moment, everybody, here as we change what's happening, and then we'll go from there. I'll just quickly update our pieces of our 2 players here. So this is our... What the heck did I do here? It's a caps lock.
Caps lock. We're back though. Don't worry.
We have the stream.
We're back.
It is 1-0 for our player 2. Do this. Go back here. Get our player 1, and we'll start updating everything to Ethan. Right?
Mr. Ethan.
Awesome. Okay, I need to go to this one here. Bang, boom, bop, and I can do this. Awesome. Okay, we're back. We're back, folks. Let us know. Hopefully we're
coming across clear and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now at this point we have we have a Karn in play, which can I guess we'll have to see here because I mean there's a lot of damage on board. It looks like with these construct tokens, which are doing a lot of work.
It looks like he's about to die.
Yeah, all this. Wait,
what did he just take?
It would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage off of that swing. If I'm not mistaken.
7.
Right? Yeah.
Dang, that thing is massive. I think this might be wrapped up. I have to say.
Yeah, it's looking like it's pretty close, right? So at least we know that one frog against a construct token is not enough nowadays. So definitely these construct guys are definitely like having any kind of Urza Saga deck seems to be the way to go, right? Again, having Needle, having the Soul Guide Lantern, especially in the main deck, right? I know this has been a deck that a lot of people have been talking about coming up to Eternal Weekend because of how powerful it is, and no one's packing no raws, any kind of artifact hate, right? So I mean, it's definitely a top contender of people for a deck to look out at for Eternal Weekend, right?
Yeah, and in part 2, we were even chatting, a bunch of us before, right? And even David, we were chatting about what are kind of the decks that are being targeted, right, behind the scenes. We know Scaminator, right? This frog list is Oops All Spells is one. some tournaments
Yes.
behind kind of the scenes. Well, not even behind the scenes, right? But in the forefront of Legacy as well. And I think you said you were playing that.
Yes,
right?
I was trying out the Oops list to see what it's all about, trying it out, getting to know the ropes, how to interact with it. I think the biggest card against that deck is just like any kind of combo deck now, it seems like, is Consigned to Memory, right? That is the best way to counter Fastest Oracle, counter the Undercity Informer, or sorry, not Undercity Informer, oh man, I can't remember his name now. I'm drawing a blank at the 4-drop one.
Yes, I'm thinking of it too. I can picture the card.
Yes, I
can
picture it too. Yes,
and the activated ability piece, but
Informer is the 3-drop. I know that.
I think McCready is just saying like you're kind of dead. Like, what do you have?
Yeah,
like
what do you got going
how does he even get out of this? You can't reanimate anything, right? I guess you have to rip. No, you still die from Metamorphosis Fanatic too, right? You have to like miracle it.
Yep, essentially.
Miracle it, and then somehow entomb Atraxa, and hopefully Atraxa gains life off of.
And just checking, there are no graveyard pieces on the board for McCready, right? I don't see any kind of vacuums or anything like that, so we're okay there. So yeah, maybe a Fanatic off the top.
Looks like he's going to be attacking Karn for 1. Frog does not read if it attacks a Planeswalker, thankfully. Oh my goodness. They have to deal with
it. No, it does.
Oh, does they still draw? Okay,
yes.
This game sucks.
Yes. Psychic Frog is, man. This thing
is... Oh my goodness, it is the craziness.
This is quite the card. I think there was a reason why they explicitly had to put the player or Planeswalker, but nonetheless, it basically, no matter what, you always draw a card.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, it says deals damage, you're good. You're always drawing a card. So, I mean, hey, this is the boogeyman of the format, and people are still playing it. People are trying to figure out what and how this deck is beatable. I mean, I think we've come to a bit of a head. Oh, it is. Oh, we did bring the Barrelgoyf in. Okay,
so he's going to be able to have some blockers, but...
And has lifelink. Keep that in mind,
That's
too.
Big.
So, now these constructs are very much blockable, right?
It is going to be a 2... What?
3, what do we got
6/6 right now, but Urza Saga is potentially going to be able to tick up. Did he take his damage from the One Ring? I mean, they might have been noting it down on the papers, but
quite
not.
Possibly.
I'm going to snooze this ad because we can
give you back some time.
Yeah, we can give back the people some time here. Sorry about that, everybody, for going offline. Hopefully, we don't have those issues later. It's later, but we'll see where we're at with things right now. But this game is looking pretty almost locked up, I'd say, for a Mystic Forge player. You're gonna draw 3 cards off the One Ring here. Every time you tap it, you put a counter basically on it, and you're gonna draw cards equal to the amount of the counters that are on it here. So
burden counters specifically. Yes, it is a burden to put the counters on this ring.
Yeah, you will take damage. Yes. But if you can finish off your opponent before you die from your own One Ring, or just cast another one.
Yeah, or exactly. Just keep if you want to keep the one that has the counters on it around after for legendary rule, that's fine too. Or you can always reset, like you said, with a brand new ring, right? So put a new ring. Oh, we are minusing the Karn. Okay, so what would you get in this case here? I mean, there's like just drop ensnaring bridge possibly to like just stall the game out. Oh, we did plus Karn, it looks like. Did we plus?
No.
Is that
still
2? Oh, still thinking. Okay. I mean, again, we have Lico Metal Coning, Mycosynth Lattice, Ensnaring Bridge, Walking Ballista, Paradox Engine, Mystic Forge in the board.
Do you just minus and get Tormod script for the Barrelgoyf?
You could even get the Argentine Masticore, that new one we were talking about, right? With the pro multicolored. At least you can block the frog, right? You know, I mean, sure, it doesn't block Barrelgoyf, but again, how big is Barrelgoyf? You said roughly call it 4 or 5 maybe.
1, 2,
give or take, something like that.
3, 4. Yeah, I think of 4 or 5 right now. Instant sorcery, land creature.
I mean.
Paying a bunch here.
Oh, wait, we're tapping Karn? What are we doing here? The scores you were just being tapped.
Selects. Oh, you're dead. Unless you have... No, you can't even force a will this.
He cannot, no. So...
You're dead.
Yeah, I'm assuming the modes are exile the Barrelgoyf?
Yeah.
Right, because you paid 3 for that? Or is it...
2 for...
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah,
that's
game.
it.
Yeah, you
Mystic
can't do
Forge
anything.
Gets there.
Wow.
Mystic Forge
Amazing job from our... Oh, okay, the camera does work there. From our Mystic Forge player there. Great work. That was actually pretty quick, I have to say.
That was good. So, again, sorry for the hiccup, but hey, here we are. At least we saw the match.
Yeah.
The ending there.
Two parts. Part one,
yes, exactly.
Mystic Forge, taking it pretty quick, I have to say.
That,
right?
that was pretty quick. And yeah, so like we've talked about, this Kozilek's command card is just having the built-in graveyard hate, having the built-in exile any kind of creature. I mean, it's definitely given the Eldrazi deck, the Post decks, Mystic Forge decks, that extra boost, being able to have instant speed graveyard hate. Again, just removal in general, making more mana if you need to like churn through them. I've even heard players churning through Kozilek's command, digging for Kozilek's command with the Scry as well too, just making mana and keep finding this thing, right? So
the versatility of the card just goes so far. That's the thing, right? You know, and that was kind of sometimes you thought about it, Eldrazi. It's like, okay, well, they can't deal with this. That's where it kind of is limited. But this card really just fixes those problems, especially when you're a big mana deck too already.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, and because you can even do it for X and just draw a card if you need to for 0. And so I mean, like on off just a city or ancient tomb of some sort, right? So no, this is I mean, again, it's a deck and people are talking about it. People are really, or I don't want to say scared, but they're talking about it. Yeah, talking about it. So it's going to happen at some point, right? But yeah, that was a quick match at that point. And I know we still have lots of matchups going right now.
Yes.
But in the end, we're here for some good legacy, man.
7 rounds,
I'm so
a 3K tournament as
well. I know.
We'll be here till 10 o'clock. My wife will be like, "Why aren't you home?"
I'll be like, I hear you.
Dinner with your family.
They're going to say you have to Uber yourself home, get your own food via Uber.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to bed early. You know what I mean? So,
goodness.
Right.
It'll be good.
But
so
at least there's no boxing fight tonight. I'm not sure if you're a boxing fan or.
I was trying to watch it last night in bed on my phone, and I was watching the fight right before
the main event.
The main event. It's actually like I was like, okay, and
that was a really good fight.
It was, and they were going at it, the girls, and then I was like, okay, like it started at what time? Like,
it was
the whole thing started at 8, and I don't even know when they fought. I went to bed. I was like, I can't be bothered.
They were just elongating the entire show for so long.
That's one thing I can't stand about.
Yeah, honestly, like they just go, like let's go, time to go. But I guess they had to fill in the time. I'm not sure. Right, because they already allocated, but nonetheless, right. So that's also why most people have a bit of a groggy voice today. Because I think a lot of people were up late watching this
dance
fight, right?
That actually fight. I'm gonna put quote fights.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 100%. That I agree with too. Right.
Yeah. So I think I think at this time we'll probably go on a little bit of a break. We'll come back, everybody. We'll check up on the time here. And then we'll go from there.
I'm going to go do a quick check. I'll wheel away from
wheel away from a moment here. I'll try to pull up something for us. I'm hoping next time maybe we can do a commentators battle. 20 minutes? Okay, so maybe we'll do a little bit of like a 15-minute break, then we'll come back on and then hopefully see pieces. Everything's crashing. Sorry. I'm taking that with the mic on right now. But this is where we're at. There's going to be an ad break that starts in 20 seconds here. Everybody. So for those who are here, we lost like 80% of our viewership. That's okay. We'll get it back. We appreciate everybody who's here right now. So we're going to pull up something. And then hopefully have something. Wow, like it's David and I for the last one too. So we're going to be right back, everybody, and we'll say thank you very much for tuning in for our first part. We are going to be getting back into it in a moment.
Yes, we are.
After I figure out what the heck I'm doing here.